Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've been live on my profile. Good evening. If you're with me, give me a hello, hello. Good evening. And let me know that you're here. Let me tag some folks. Get comfortable. We're going to talk tonight. I don't know if I can tag everybody. I don't know. How y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. There we go. Alright, so I tagged some folks to let y'all know I'm live. Live tonight. Hey Pamela. Hey boo. How you doing? How's it going? Good evening, good evening. Come on in the room. As the old folks say, come on in the room. Well, tonight we're going to jump into talking about becoming excuse proof. You know, having conversations with a lot of beautiful women that are working to reverse PCOS. This is a big topic because one thing I want to clear up is that willpower alone will just not be enough, okay? First of all, willpower is like a finite resource. We only have but so much of it. And depending on what time of the day, you may have absolutely none. Your brain literally gets tired. It has decision fatigue. It gets tired of making choices and decisions for you. So at night, on a Friday, at the end of the year, you will experience more decision fatigue versus at the beginning of the week, at the start of the day, at the start of a new year. And so we have to have plans in place to support us. We have to have even greater levels of support and structure to put in place to make sure that we bypass willpower altogether so we can stay consistent doing the things that truly help us feel our best and those healthy habits that make the most difference in reversing PCOS. So let's go over what those healthy habits are. Number one, you want to be drinking or supplementing with spearmint every single day. This is going to decrease androgen levels, which are your male hormones, and that's going to start giving you symptom relief quicker rather than later. Number two, you want to be doing 30 minutes up to 2 hours of restorative exercise every single day. What's restorative exercise? If you know what that is, I want a little comment in the chat. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you guys are here. But comment in the chat on what you think restorative exercise is. I'll start giving you some examples. That's like walking, dancing, yoga, Pilates, Qigong, Tai Chi. These are exercises that do not spike your cortisol, that relax and deeply soothe your nervous system and help you maintain a state in your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the part of your nervous system that keeps you calm, relaxed, and centered. So if that form of exercise helps your parasympathetic system to be activated, most likely it's restorative. So we want to do 30 minutes up to 2 hours of restorative movement every day. And that last healthy habit is to do some form of stress relief. So this is separate from the restorative exercise. This is, in my world, meditation. So I meditate when I wake up and before I go to bed. And this also helps to regulate my nervous system. So you want to have those 3 habits in place first, and then move on to having a PCOS reversal friendly breakfast. So those 4 things are like top on the list to master first. But life can keep life in. And even though those things seem simple, in an effort to master those healthy habits, we need to pay attention to what's going to help us stay consistent, and it's not going to be willpower, okay? Willpower is helpful, but it's not reliable enough to rely on for long-term success. And research has shown that willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it fatigues. So you're relying on willpower for every food decision, every choice when it comes to how you're going to spend your time, making sure you get that spearmint in, just hoping that you're going to remember to do it every day. By the end of the day, at the end of the work week, you are more likely to do things that don't align with your health goals because your willpower muscle is just simply kaput. It's fatigued. It's done. So, what happens at the end of the day? You're tired. Your willpower has been worn down, and you're just not going to be in the headspace to make the type of decisions that are going to really support you. So, I want you to think about some of the ways that you could become excuse proof, where you can add more structure, routine, and elements of accountability into your life. One of those might be joining a community, whether that's Black Women Reversing PCOS. I've left a link to that in the comments. Or if you need more in-depth coaching and support from a dedicated community that's meeting every day in the chat and that has weekly coaching sessions like my program, Sacred Rising. If you need more in-depth coaching and support, Sacred Rising is where you'll get that. It includes one-to-one support and group support, so you'll have my expertise and insight as you're putting together your supplement regimen, as you're putting together your meals, and really building out how you're going to stay accountable to your health goals. And so with Sacred Rising, if you'd like to talk more about that and how I can support you, I will drop the link for filling out an application form. And when you fill out the application form, you'll be able to also schedule a call with me. And on that call, we can discuss if Sacred Rising is a really good fit for you, or an answer to answering that question of how are you going to have more accountability and structure in your life to become excuse proof versus having to rely on willpower. So that's a little snippet about why willpower is just not reliable, why it's a finite resource and unreliable for your long-term success in reversing PCOS. I want to switch gears for a second and just dive into talking about my upcoming 7-day winter cleanse. So this is not a cleanse in the traditional sense. This is an experience. This cleanse is designed to holistically support you by addressing some of the key root causes to PCOS. So if you have PCOS, if you don't, it's a great fit because it really helps you to support your adrenals, to address adrenal imbalances, to support reducing inflammation, hormonal imbalances, insulin resistance, and even if you have come off of birth control recently and you're experiencing post-birth control symptoms, or that's driving your symptoms of PCOS, the way that I've structured this eating plan, which has different options, vegan, whole foods, and a low carb meal plan that's very friendly if you have insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes. With these eating plans, they are structured to be nutrient dense. So all of the nutrients that your body is needing to recover after birth control, you'll learn how to eat to be able to replenish those nutrient stores. And it's so gentle. You do not have to buy any special supplements or anything. You could just do the plan without supplements and still get a great benefit. I do also have some supplement recommendations if you'd like to include that into your experience. So with this cleanse, I call it gentle because it's taking into account the fact that we're going into the colder, drier winter months. And those months are a time when things can get out of balance because of the cold, dry weather. And so it's important for us to be grounded and to feel stable and to cleanse, focusing on warming, plant-based foods, healthy fats that are nourishing to the body and the nervous system. We want to really focus on deeply soothing the nervous system as well. Naturally, when we're in the winter time, the parasympathetic system is activated anyway. So we don't want to go against that flow of nature. We want to work with it. So we'll use techniques like self-massage, mindfulness, and create a rhythm and a routine, gentle yoga, restorative exercise to really deeply soothe our nervous systems. We're going to tend to our adrenal health by supporting ourselves with adaptogenic herbs, vitamin C, magnesium, stress management, and we're going to reduce inflammation through the meal plan by eliminating foods that may be triggering, while also including anti-inflammatory spices, and it's going to really help you rebalance any elevated cortisol or androgens, which are your male hormones, that may be involved because of elevated blood sugar. So the meal plan is really the key part of this experience. And even though the meal plan by itself is so powerful, I think the most powerful part that we'll create is just community. Community to come together as a group in sisterhood, focusing on our wellness during the winter time, really focusing in on that TLC and giving ourselves warmth and connection during that time when some of us might have a tendency to kind of isolate, but you also have my guidance. So I'll be there. You'll get coaching in the group setting. You'll have a one-to-one coaching call as well that is a part of your package. And so if you're familiar, this cleanse is based on the teaching of Ayurveda. So in Ayurvedic medicine, we have mind-body types, and they are called doshas. And there's 3 main doshas. The dosha that we are paying attention to is called Vata, and it's spelled V-A-T-A, Vata. And it's associated with the elements of air and space. So Vata have kind of like embodies those qualities of light, cool, dry, and moving quickly, creativity, enthusiasm, liveliness. But people with this mind-body type have a tendency towards anxiety, inconsistency, and fatigue. When we have PCOS, especially when there is adrenal involvement in your PCOS, which for a lot of us there is to some degree, that means that the Vata piece of your body's makeup is imbalanced. When it's balanced, you feel energized, flexible, able to go with the flow. And when you're out of balance, you may feel spacey, overwhelmed. You might have difficulty focusing or being still, trouble sleeping. You might have digestive issues, aches and pains and spasms, muscle cramps. And so this tells you that the Vata in your body, the air element of your body, is out of balance, which can go into greater levels of imbalance when we enter the winter season. So that cold, dry weather can make a Vata imbalance worse. It can make your PCOS symptoms worse. So I wanted to share a way to really help you avoid your symptoms, at least avoid them becoming worse during the time of the year where they possibly could. So things like dry indoor heat, not eating enough substantial food, skipping meals, having too much cold foods can disrupt Vata even more. So to stay balanced, we want to really focus on warming cooked foods like soups and stews, keeping warm in our body temperature in our space, creating routines, meditating, using warming spices like ginger and cinnamon. Like today I made myself a red rooibos chai, and I added some almond milk creamer, a little bit of ghee, some sea salt, and monk fruit for sweetener. It was warming, it was warm, it was comforting, and we're going to feature a lot of things just like that in this cleanse. So it's not a harsh detox like you might be thinking in the traditional or popular sense. When you think about this cleanse, I want you to think about slow, steady, soothing, and satisfying. That is what this is in a nutshell. We're going to deeply soothe your system. And so by understanding these qualities of the Vata dosha in Ayurvedic medicine, it's also going to help you go deeper into understanding your body as a whole, understanding the mind-body connection between why you're feeling these symptoms in your body beyond just a Western explanation of PCOS. And then you'll get a lot of support. So this was just a live to really explain. I've been posting about the cleanse, but I wanted to make sure And I took a moment just to share more information. You might be wondering about the logistics of the cleanse, so let's get into that right now. In the cleanse, you're going to get 2 weeks of meal plans with 30 delicious recipes. You'll get a live group kickoff call. You'll get daily support in a closed and private Facebook group. You're going to get a cleanse guide, a daily protocol, and a post-cleanse session, a coaching session with me. You can also get a more in-depth holistic health assessment, and by signing up for the cleanse, you do get 50% off that assessment price. Right now, the cleanse itself is 50% off for those that go ahead and sign up before the 27th of November. So go ahead and sign up. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to support you. You can always reach out to me with a DM. Tell me about your journey. Tell me where you're at right now. I'm sending so much peace and love to everyone, and I will tune back in very soon.